Greetings of the day. In this video, I want to explain few topics. So the first agenda is the navigation of R Studio. So under this, we will discuss the source window, console window, and environment as well as the graphical output. With an proper example, we will discuss the four different windows. Then our second agenda is different way out, how we should run as well as rerun any code. So normally there are three different way out is also available to run or rerun any particular code. Then we have to create the document outline. So definitely this is a very important topic. If you are a student, so definitely the outline will help you to understand what are the topic you have covered, what are the lessons you have learned, right? Then the fourth agenda or the last agenda is customize the layout or theme. If you want to customize your R Studio, then definitely you can do it using some option is also available. So I will definitely explain each and every point. Okay. So before that, I believe you have already installed the R as well as the Studio in your computer. If not, so I have already made one video, so you can check it out. Okay. So in my desktop, you can find R Studio icon is available, right? So if I double click on it, so it will take some time and it will open, right? So when you open the R Studio, maybe in your system, these four windows, that is the Windows 1, Windows 2, Windows 3 or Windows 4. So this window may be or may not be available in your screen. If not, over here you can find one minimize button is also available. If I click on this option, right now you can find one window is already minimized, right? So right now you can find only the console window is available. Okay, so if this type of screen is available when you open your R Studio, so just double click on it and you can find your window will be open over here. Okay, so over here first we have to understand the first window. This is the window 1. Okay, so for our better understanding, I name this window as a Windows 1. Normally we call it as a comment area or the source window, right? So over here we have to type any line of codes. Maybe it's a 2 line, 3 line or 4 line based on our length of our programming. Okay, so you have to write any program over here, basically the command line which you want to execute. Okay, so for better understanding, I just minimize this part. So if you want to move your cursor over here, you can find there is a both arrow is available. So just drag it so that we can understand or we can follow the only the Windows number 1. So this is my Windows 1. So over here you can find one file option is also available. So if I click on file option, you can find normally, I believe you have already get some idea how to open and save the file. So this type of things will be available over here as well. Okay, so again if I click on this plus sign, you can over here you can find R script. So basically if you want to open any new script, so if I click on R script, so directly you can find untitled 2 will be open over here. So simultaneously you can open multiple types of files over here just using the plus sign over here, or you can find there is a shortcut key that is control plus shift plus n. Okay, so this is the way how you supposed to open multiple R script over here. Okay, now over here you also find the run options. Okay, okay, let me minimize this part as well. Okay, so that we don't get confused over here. So now over here you can find the the run option is also available. So if you type any code over here, so let's suppose if I wants to add 2 plus 3 or 2 plus 2 or whatever, so now you have to run this line. So how we supposed to run it? So to run any script, there are three options is available. First one is you have to select the entire line of code. So when I select the entire line of code and then if I click on the run option, you can find which the console which I have just minimized, it will automatically pop up and you can find 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So that means my output will be generated. So this is the one way out, or the second way out, you can space your cursor in the line of code. Maybe it's a first positions, maybe it's a middle position, or maybe it's a last position. Does not matter where your cursor is. Just place the cursor in that particular line. So right now I am placed the cursor in the middle of that particular code, maybe 2 plus 3, right? So the you can find my cursor is blinking right now. Now if I click on run option, you can find the second time my code is run and we get some output, exactly the same output, that is 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. This is the way out number 2. Then third, so again if you select your code in the entire line, or if you place the cursor over here, then you have to enter the shortcut key. The shortcut key is basically control plus shift. Again you can find my code is again executed and we will get the same output. So to run any code, there are three way out option available. First one is select the entire code and click on run option. So this is the select the entire line of code and click on run. This is the one. Then second option, place the cursor in the particular line, maybe first position, middle position, or last position. Then click on run option. So if I click on run option, you can find my code is also executed. The third option is you have to again select or place your cursor and enter the shortcut key, that is control plus n. So your code again will be executed. So this is the way out how you run any code over here, right? So now this is the Windows number one. Over here we just type our code. Okay, now if I come back to our second part, that is, let me expand it. Now here you can find my environment is empty. So this is the Windows number 2. Whatever the variable we supposed to store or mention in our code, over here the all the variable will be available. Okay, so under these windows you can find the environment is definitely available history. So if you used any variable or if you run your program, so the history will be stored over here. So if you notice, I have already add 2 plus 3, so that's history is stored over here. So now if I come back to the connection option, so over here you can find there are different types of database connections. So if I click on new connection, you can find there are two database connection or source is also available, which have not yet connected right now. So definitely in our upcoming lesson we will learn how to connect the database. So if you connect any database, the status overview will be shown. Okay, so if you need any tutorial of RSoup software, so definitely you have to just click on the tutorial option. This is the Windows 2, that is the R environment, right? So now come back to the third window. So just let me minimize this so that we don't get confused. Okay, so under third windows, over here you can find file, plots, package, help, view and presentation. This type of option will be available. Okay, so now if I want to plot any histogram, bar plot, or so on and so forth, so all the plot will be available over here, but right now we have not yet plotted over here again anything, so that's why it is blank. Now if I click on the file of example, then we will understand these four windows, how it look like and what I am saying again and again. Okay, so let's suppose I want to assign any value over here. uh, mm, 10. I just enter any random value. So how to create a vector, so definitely I will explain it. So just for understanding these four windows or the navigation of RStudio, just bear with me and you will get the fair idea. Okay, so now I have assigned some value inside a variable, that is the a. Okay, now we have to run it. So to run any programming command, so you have to use the shortcut key, that is the control plus shift, or you just select the entire line of codes or click on run. So right now you can find under my console part, age already stored the value. Okay, so now if I call the same variable, that is small a, and click on run option, so you can find 10, 20, 10, 30, 20, 30. So this value is already there. Okay, so now if I come back to our Windows number 2, that is the environment. So over here you can find variable a, which is already available over here, and you can find num 1 colon 6 10 20 10 30 20 30. So that means not only it store the value, definitely it will mention what type of value we store over here. So num means basically the number, okay, and 1 colon 6 means basically there are total 6 element we have stored inside the variable a. So if you count 1 2 3 4 5 6, definitely there are total 6 element we have stored over here, okay. Now if I wants to plot the histogram plot, so just use the predefined or the inbuilt function to histogram of a. Okay, now again I am using my shortcut key, that is control plus shift, sorry, control plus enter. So now when I use my shortcut key, or if you click on the run option, you can find I have created the histogram of a. Okay, so now we will again understand what is the use case or what is the important of four different windows. So our windows number one is basically where we supposed to type the comments. Maybe it's a one line, two line, three line, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then under the environment part, whatever the variable we will store, the variable details will be available over here. Now if I click on this option, now when we move my cursor, you can find clear objects from the workspace. If you want to delete or remove the object, so from here, so object means basically yeah, so it will automatically delete. Okay, if you click on this option, definitely. Now over here you can find the plot path is also available, which I name as a windows number 3 as a graphical output. Okay, now our for window where we will get our output. Okay, so over here you can find I have write down the comment, that is the histogram, that is hist, this is the inbuilt function, and I have to call the variable, that is the air where we have stored the value. Okay, so this is the four windows. Okay, now if I come back to this, so definitely my cursor is already selected plot. So if I click on the zoom option, so you can find my histogram is already zoomed out. Now if I wants to save this graph as a pdf or image, how to do that? So you have to click on export option. Now over here you can find save as a image or save as a pdf. Let's I want to save this particular graph as a image format, so click on save as. Now over here you can find the image format. So if I drop down this menu, you can find png, jpg, so there are so and so forth type of image format is also available. So let me see the default, that is the png. Now over here you can find the directory where you supposed to store it. Let's suppose right now I want to store it in my desktop, so click on desktop. Now the file name, okay, so let's suppose I am changing the file name as a, okay. Now if I click on, so just I just mention the file name. Okay, now click on save. So if I come back to my desktop, okay, so now over here you can find histogram plot. So if I double click on it, now you can find we have successfully export that particular graph in our desktop, right? So this is the way how you supposed to export the graph or the image which you have just plotted over here. So I want to add the outline in the very first line, so that's why we just type hash, then my YouTube channel name. Okay, so now if I click on run option, you can find there is no error in my console part. So to use hash command in our software, to ignore the line, to comment the line when it is executed. So if I remove the hash command and click on run option, you can find object text extension not found. That means this time the text extension will trigger as a object as we have removed the hash command. Okay, so again if I enter the hash command, now you can find this line is converted as a command line. If I click on run, there is no error. Okay, so just right side of the run option, you can find the rerun option is also available. So if you select this particular line of code which we have just explained how to create the histogram plot, so if I click on run, you can find the output is already there and the plot is already available, so we cannot notify what is the change over here. So if I click on the delete option, Okay, now if I click the rerun option, so when you run any program or line, you have to select the particular line. So now if I click on rerun option, so you can find the histogram is plotted over here. So this option is also available for run a script, and this icon is available to rerun any code. Okay, so now we have used our text sequence as a outline. So to create the outline, so we have to type hash, then your text message, then four times or five times or multiple times you can say hash comment. Now you can find one drop down menu is also available just right side of one serial number one. Over here, if you click on this option, you can find text sections will be available as a outline. Okay, now if I come back to this particular serial number 6 or 7, over here we want to add again anything as a outline. So again type hash comment, or if I write down over here histogram plot. Now you can type multiple time hash or multiple time dash sign. So there are two options available how to create the outline. So over here you can find text sequence as well as histogram plot is also available. Right. So in this drop down menu over here you can find text sequence and histogram plot both are available. So if I minimize this part, you can find this outline is already minimized. Okay. So now if I wants to add any number, okay, so let's suppose 2 plus 20, then shift sorry, control plus enter, your output will be generate. Then if I wants to add any value, that is 20 plus 30, control and enter, so you can find the addition is already there, so the output will be generated over here. Now over here if I wants to add another outline, the addition operator. Okay, multiple dash I have typed over here. Now you can find again the drop down menu is available. So if I minimize it, so now if I expand the histogram plot, you can find the histogram part is only expandable. So you can easily understand how we create histogram plot for any value. Now if I wants to expand the additional operator, so click on it, you can find how to addition in R Studio. So basically this is the basic example. So in our next video definitely we will take the assign operator or the vector operations, how to add scalar to vector, vector to vector definitely. Okay, now today's our last agenda is layout and theme. So if you want to change the layout and theme of options in our R Studio, you have to click on the tools option. Under tools you can find global option. So over here you can find there are so many so on option is also available. But right now if I click on the appearance option, you can find the R Studio theme. So right now this theme is also available. Zoom in and font, if you want to change any font, so you have to select from the drop down menu, or over here you can find theme editor theme option is also available. So my personal favorite is tomorrow night 18. So just select it, and if you want to modify this theme, so just click on add option, or you can select tomorrow night blue. So click on add. Sorry. So okay. Now you can find my theme is already changed. Okay, so it's look like cool. So I personally prefer this type of theme as well. So if you want to change, so definitely you can. So again, if I click on the tools option and global option, you can find the layout option, pane layout. Over here you can find the first window will be our source, where you supposed to type the code, or the second window will be environment history connection, where we supposed to show our variable. The third window is basically files, plot, packages, and fourth one is the console. If you want to change the source, the Windows name, definitely you can select the any drop options which is available under the drop down menu. Okay, let's suppose if I want to change the console to the Windows 4 to Windows 2, so just select it, and you can find my console part is already interchanged. Okay, so in this way, you if you want to modify it, you can then definitely click on OK. Now you can find this is my Windows one, this is my script part. If you want to modify our console part in the right top right side corner, definitely you can. Okay, so now still now we have understand four different windows, how to run and rerun option. Rerun, so you have to select click on this run option, you have to click on this rerun option. Okay, now we have understand where our variable will be shown. Over here you can understand the graphical output, and this is the variable. So still now we have completed total 4 to 5 topics over here. Thank you.